Hey, if you're just now joining the live stream, welcome. And I'm so glad that you're here, whether you're on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live. Appreciate you being here. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a sound check and letting me know you can see and hear the stream, that would be awesome. So, this is the 10th installment of this self portrait that I started. Well, I actually started it a long, long time ago. But I started getting interested in going back to it and completing it recently. And, I got a list of projects that I would like to get done. Whether I'm going to get to all of those or not, I don't know. But one of the very active community members over in Monthly Sharpener, Brenda Matson, who some of you may probably know, I'm sure. Thank you, Teresa. Appreciate it. Teresa's over there watching on Facebook Live. Anyway, Brenda has done several portraits. I thought she only did like a couple or something of herself, self-portraits. And I think she told me that she did 4. So that's a bunch. So anyway, after this last one in particular, though, that she showed, I got all inspired again. I was just like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull that back out and work on this project. So here we are. All right. Yeah. So if you're able to hear me and see me over there on YouTube, then that would be helpful. If you could let me know that you're actually able to see the stream and hear me, I would appreciate that. All right. I do have some light coming back in here on this shadow side of the face. So if I can include some of that. Just by using a lighter color. Doesn't have to be a lot lighter, but if it is a lot lighter, then I want to use a lighter touch at the beginning just to see how much of it is actually going to adhere to my surface now. But that will give me that sense, of highlight in there. Hey, Nancy, thank you so much for joining. She's over there on YouTube Live. Thank you, Nancy. So Nancy's over there on YouTube Live. So I guess we are good to go. I guess we are streaming successfully on YouTube and Facebook. So I have to tell you guys, this is one of my favorite times of the evening. It's getting to get over here to the drawing desk and draw. I hope it is for you as well. I hope that's something that you're able to do. And if you're not, if you're suffering through injuries, like I know some of you are, dealing with pain or dealing with surgeries or recovering from surgeries in your hand or arm or shoulder or something. Hey, Oksana, thanks for joining. Oksana's over there on YouTube Live. Then at least I'm hoping that you'll come out here and hang out anyway. If you're not able to draw. And I hope you're healing quickly and you'll get back to the drawing desk quickly. Oh, thanks, Oksana. I appreciate that. That's good to know because I don't know. It's you don't you don't feel like you're real objective when you're drawing yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're drawing yourself, right? So you know what I'm talking about. So fun though. I think it's so fun to do it all at the same time as other artists are doing it. What's it been like for you, Oksana? I love the little video clips that you're putting up over there on Instagram. You guys should go check her out. So cool. Oh no, I think it's looking good, Oksana. You should not give up on it. Definitely not. I want to get a sense in here of how to, or not how to, but a sense of the light and the dark right in here. Oh yeah, it's looking so good. If you guys aren't following Oksana, she's doing some really interesting things over there on Instagram. I really love it. Oksana, if you don't mind, maybe you could put your Instagram, just your handle in there so we can see it. I just think it's cool when somebody is creating videos and doing things like that. Oksana, so you're saying the most challenging part is picking the right colors, huh? I gotcha. That can be tough, right? All right, so let's do this. Let's do something a little radical here. Let's use oyster and lean that just a little bit to a brighter, lean it just a little bit brighter than what it is right there. Take a look here. Okay, there's quite a bit of buildup right there. And I want something just a little bit lighter and like an maybe I'll use some yellow. Oh, so it depends on the surface, Oksana. Oksana's asking about burnishing if I like to burnish. So you're finding that you're doing that a little bit, huh? Depends on the surface, but I really like doing that on pastel mat. Let me sharpen this up. Okay. I can't remember what surface you're on right now, Oksana. Maybe you can tell me. But on Stonehenge, I'm not purposely or intentionally thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to burnish now. You know what I mean? I'm just letting it kind of naturally build up. And then it actually does burnish most of the time, I would say. But I'm not thinking that I'm intentionally going to do it. I just let it happen naturally because I'm filling in as I do each layer, and each layer gets um, I have to push the pencil harder, a little more pencil pressure each time with each layer. Oh, okay. Well, see, with that one, you can press pretty hard, though, with Arch's hot press watercolor paper. It's what you're using. So that, yeah, you should be able to press a little bit harder. Okay. We'll look at that a minute. All right, I think I like that, actually. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that would take a lot of pressure, Oksana. It's good stuff. Good paper. All right. So let's see. Go back in this other direction here. Just want to soften those edges just a little bit right there. Hopefully, I'll have time to get up there in the eyes again tonight. Okay. I'm going to go back to that sienna. Amal, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. So you're watching on both YouTube and Facebook, huh? And YouTube's a few seconds ahead. Ah, interesting. That's interesting. Not sure what that means about either platform, really, but oh well. Oh, Oksana, you will. I'm sure you will achieve more realistic results. I'm sure you will. Hey, Angel. Oh, good. I'll have to take a look, Angel, if you just posted your ice study. Awesome. Good deal. Well, congratulations for getting that done then. That is so cool. I know it's like a marathon kind of thing. It takes so long. But that's why we love it too, right? All right. Okay, let me think about this. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll use a little bit of that dark flesh to find some highlights over in the shadows. Just a little. Even if I use something different later on, something a little more saturated later on, at least at the beginning. Oh, thanks, Oksana. Appreciate that. Yeah, I do it because for just what you said, it helps to clarify things really as you work through the piece and adding color later on because you're thinking only of value, at the beginning. All right, so got highlights through here. These aren't going to show up a whole lot right now, and that's okay. Now, just by way of reminder, we're on pastel matte right now. And I'm using a combination of Luminance pencils by Caran d'Ache and Polychromos and Derwent Lightfast. So, Oksana, you're asking what is the most used luminance color, huh? I have to think about that for a moment. I'm not sure exactly which one I use. You know, probably it's that Herculaneum red. That color right there. That's probably the one I'm using more than anything else. Maybe a toss up between that, Dark Flesh, and this hibiscus pink or violet pink. Those are all becoming fan favorites of mine. I'm a fan. They're my favorite. Oh, is that right? You're not using all of those in the portrait set, huh? Yeah. Yeah. You're using quite a bit of it, though, I guess. 2/3 of it. That's good. Yeah, I love it. There are some that maybe the greens I'm not using a whole lot. There's a couple of greens in there. I have used them, but just not as much. So if you're brand new, if you're watching today and you're brand new to portraiture and portraits with colored pencil in particular, then you're one of my favorite people. Those are the kind of people I love to help. And I will tell you that also drawing in this way that I'm drawing right now, this isn't primarily the way that I started out. So, what way am I talking about? I'm talking about like figuring out where all the darks are and then going back in there with uh, lighter pencils or color on top after we figured out the darks, right? It's not the way I typically started out when I started trying to learn portraits, but it's something that I found out about and started using, and it has simplified a lot of things. Made it quite a bit easier. Rather than trying to figure out every color right from the beginning. Instead, looking for where the dark values are made it so much easier. This one is from a larger sheet that I cut down, Oksana. So you're asking what size of pastel mat I'm on. And so this one is 15 by 12, I believe. Angel. That's funny. Said you would think you would have been drawn to drawing animals for your initial interest in taxidermy. So, yeah, for those that may not know, I did do some taxidermy when I was younger. Um, but I grew up way out in the country, in rural Oklahoma, and still have some of the southern slang to prove it. But anyway, um, yeah, I mean, I was out there where we were really, really close to the Red River, North Fork Red River, about a quarter of a mile actually. Didn't have any neighbors for over a mile in any direction. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time growing up like that. Big, huge family. Mom and dad, they were married, stayed married all their life. And there's 10 in my family. There's, well, 12 if you count my parents. And so um, I have 7 brothers and 2 sisters. And we did a lot of hunting and fishing and trapping. Um, it was different way of life, I suppose, than a lot different than the way I live now. But it was fun. It was a different time. Feels like a lifetime ago. So Nancy, I was. That's funny. We actually lived very close to Texas. I mean that's the North Fork Red River. That was Texas. So we were about a quarter of a mile from Texas. So yeah, way down the southwest corner. Yeah, I'm curious about that too, Nancy. Which part of Texas were you in? We've got family down there now. Noxana, I didn't know you lived down there. Hey, Deborah, how are you? Well, it wasn't that long ago, Oksana. Ah, man, it was gorgeous here today in Cincinnati. Loved it. I actually got out and played tennis with my daughter just for a little bit. All right. I am using violet gray at the moment. And still thinking mostly in values right now. So, well, thank you, Deborah. Appreciate it. Okay. Now, want a little bit of color up on top of this. Oksana, why would you be scared to draw a male portrait? I think you'd do very well at it based on what you're doing so far. Okay, let's see here. Use this darker, this purple. Deborah, is this the highlight of your day here, Deborah? You get that toothbrush for your drawing? I'm guessing you're talking about for your drawing, right? Like we talked about earlier. I didn't do that yet. But did you get the Oral B that Angel recommended? See, Angel, you are starting a trend. Okay. Yeah. So, Angel, you're asking if I'm completing a section on the portrait before moving on. Yeah, I just thought that I would fill in a lot of this skin tone over here on the shadow side, and it'll give me sort of a baseline to go off of, so that when I start working on the forehead and on the other side, I'll know. So Oksana or Deborah is asking if do I normally no, it's Oksana. Sorry, Do you normally leave the forehead last to work on? No, not normally. I don't like doing the forehead at all. So I just kind of leave it and don't think about it until I try to hit it once in a while, but I try not to think about how overwhelming it is, because if I do, I just want to crumble up and cry because it just takes so long to do. So, or the hair, but in this case, well, there's just not hair. So the forehead. Yeah. Yeah. Fred's here. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. So that forehead will take some time. Yeah. All right. And the other thing is, I don't want to forget. Yeah, it's a good point, Oksana. Larger area, but you don't have to worry about all the hair. That's true. I don't want to forget my thought process on what I'm using down here in the face. So I'm going to use, some of the same colors up here in the forehead. And some of that is going to be this sienna right here. So I want to make sure that this is more out here towards the edge of where the shadow is. I was mentioning it or starting to mention it earlier, but I am going to do another workshop. I decided. Um, this will be like a 5 day, 4 or 5 day workshop on drawing a portrait from start to finish. Um, so if you're on my email list, I'll send something out about it. But as I would like to get more people involved in drawing some portraits. I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks, Deborah. Um, so it'll be a live class. Um, oh, good, Oksana. Yeah, I hope you guys join me over there with that. All right. See what that's looking like. As long as I've got enough of this pigment coming out away from that shadow, I should be okay. I'm really, really tempted to use. I'm tempted to use solvent up here in the forehead, but I don't think that I will. No, Angel is asking a live in-person class. No, it's going to be over Zoom, so it will be an HD Zoom class. It's going to be 1080p, real high definition Zoom class. I've been looking at different platforms and trying to figure out what might be the best platform, and it's just going to be structured a little different, a little more structure than what I've done on some of my Zoom classes, because the last office hours that I did for members only, I think went really well. And I'm going to do something sort of similar to that, where I'll be teaching and then showing you what I'm doing from start to finish. So we're gonna really push it and hustle and finish a complete portrait in those amount of days, so several hours a day. And I'm going to show you everything from the beginning to the end. We're going to be using the the method of doing the layout, from the layout all the way to the end. Oh, thanks, Oksana. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see here. I got to tell you guys, this is addicting. Drawing this over a live stream like this, it's so fun to do. I didn't know it was going to be quite this fun, but it really is. Angel, I'm laughing at Angel there. Okay. I'm wondering now, I think I could probably do a some dry blending with the brush at this point. I got those little bit of wrinkles up there on the forehead that I would like to capture, but I think that'll be better to do later on. Now, I'm using this Sienna Derwent Light Fast, so it's not going to blend with this brush as easily, with a dry brush. So we'll try it. Got a little bit of that blue, I guess, left over on there, but yeah, that's okay. Not that big a deal. If I feel like there's too much, I just deposited itself right there. I can erase it. It's no big deal. Oh, that is working pretty well, though. Look at that. I'm liking that. So Oksana, it's a Princeton Select Fix-It brush, size 2. Really nice. It offers just enough, control because of that tip, that chiseled kind of tip, where you can get in there and it's really a stiff bristled brush, but you can push everything pretty well. Okay, let's see. Move that over. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead, I guess, and erase that little tiny bit of blue right there. I just don't want it to be distracting to me, and I don't want it to start thinking, signaling to my mind, oh, I gotta create this dark value over here, So, oh, you're welcome, Oksana. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Let me zoom in just a little bit. There's a little bit of, I don't know what to call it. I don't want to call it dust. As soon as I call it dust, someone thinks that, this is the equivalent of something you get with soft pastel. That's not what I'm talking about. So if you look at the brush itself, there's a little tiny bit of fuzz. I guess I'll call it fuzz. But that can occur once in a while on pastel matte, especially if you leave it out and it's sitting. You don't have it, covered up with glassine or something like that, and it'll just dust can collect from the room I'm talking about. It'll just collect in an area there. So it does happen from time to time. if you touch the surface, you can feel it's kind of soft, but it also has a little bit of a pull or a grip on it. You see a little bit of dust over there right now. And if you look closely, if you're able to see it through the camera, but I can blow that with this rocket right here. It'll get some of it off. Sometimes it won't get all of it off, but it's just that cork surface that kind of grabs things that are up against it. So that's all that's happening there. All right. Now go over to this side a little bit. Oh, thank you, Angel. Um, so it's interesting. I'm forgetting what color I used over here. I'm trying to remember now. I don't have a clue. I don't remember what I used. Um, so when that happens, we can do a little bit of a color match. I don't think it's this sienna. Whoops, sorry about that. I just bumped my microphone. Um, it might be actually. Now that I'm putting that on here, could be. So I have a little bit of stubble, a little bit of hair in this picture because it was taken a few years ago, and I don't know. Maybe I thought I was going to grow hair again or something. I don't know, but I'm going to probably draw this without any hair. That's kind of how I currently look. So I'm being like one of my most difficult clients that I've had in the past when when I used to take commissions, so more than I do now. I think this sienna is working. That may have been what I used. I just don't remember. I'm being silly, but some clients want you to pretend you're Photoshop, and start doing all these acrobatic things to create the drawing. Can you put my head on my cousin's body and then make me turned like a 3/4 turn, even though this is a frontal pose I'm giving you, and then uh, also make me 20 pounds lighter. And it's like, do what? Let me take notes. Okay, let me sharpen that. Might have been taupe, maybe. No, definitely wasn't taupe. That's a different color. Okay, a little bit of a fold right there. They're not wrinkles, they're folds. And one right up here. There we go. All right. Yeah, so that was fun. Earlier, I was talking about um, going and playing tennis with my oldest daughter, and then I went on a walk tonight, and my youngest daughter decided to join us on that walk. Thank you, Oksana. Yeah, if you're working on a boring area like this is on the forehead, um, if I start finding that I'm getting antsy and I'm not wanting to be patient with it, sometimes the best thing to do is just stop, and just say, okay, never mind. I'll work on that part later. You know, maybe you guys notice that. I mean, that's the way I have to do it. It's like if I'm not wanting to be patient with myself, then I'm just going to stop, work on it some other time. Oksana, you're probably about done with your self portrait, then, aren't you? If not, you're getting close, I'm sure. Anybody else working on a self portrait right now? Yeah. Oh, Angel, I can't wait to see that eye study you did. That that's really cool. Bravo for getting that completed. Such a good feeling when you get something like that done too. Got a little bit of pigment in there, and then we'll see if we can use that brush again. Ah, very cool. So, what kind of background are you going to do, Oksana? Have you made that decision yet? Deb, you're cracking me up. Okay. Oh, Oksana, you've been drawing all day today. Ah, very cool. So you're leaving the background kind of simpler. Okay. You guys are cracking me up. Angel can always crack me up. So for those that may be on on Facebook, she says, "Don't be jealous of my eye study, John. Just be patient with yourself." He he. All right, I will try to hold my jealousy to a minimum. Can't make any promises. You always make me laugh. All right. This is one of the reasons why I love pastel mat. It is so flexible. I can use such a light touch like this, get the pigment down in certain areas, and then use a brush or some other mechanism. I've used Um, I've used a chamois. I've used a paper towel. I've used. I'm trying to think of all the things I've used to blend, and it all works on pastel mat. And a lot of those same techniques are possible on also. Um, yeah, it also works on sanded paper and on Stonehenge as well. So, so Fred said, he just had one of my sister's cupcakes. It's also an art form. I appreciate it. That's too funny. So, Oksana, you said, I have to give you credit, John. You definitely got me to love pastel mat to use with colored pencils. Even many artists claim it can be difficult to erase. Oh, I didn't know that, Oksana. So that's good. Awesome. I'm glad you're using it. Um, you don't find that it's difficult to erase on pastel mat, do you? I don't. I love using pastel mat. Now, I didn't like it at first, and that's usually the way I go with things. It often takes a while for something to warm up to me. So yeah, I didn't really care for it at first, but I gave it another shot. That's usually the way it goes, and then I start liking products. Here's something I do often that um, I don't recommend too much, but I do it anyway. Is I will test a paintbrush on my surface, but if I know something's going to be darker, I don't think it matters too much. But with this, I can erase it. If I go in here and tap on that, I can erase it. Oh, yeah. Good point, Deborah. She says she thinks it's worthy of its price. Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff, isn't it? I really do think it is. If you find a good surface, it's worth paying for it. Okay. It looks like I can't ignore those lips any longer, right? Need to get in there. Do something about them. All right. Let me go with this Caput Mortem. I've got a little bit of it on there. Put a little bit more though. That's pretty dark on that top lip. Oh, good deal, Deborah. Getting your UArt paper, huh? Yeah, that's for sure, Nancy. Good points about pastel mat. Yeah, it is very forgiving. I started looking at some of my videos to edit, and started noticing that I don't know why I never noticed this before, but my because I got so much gray in my goatee now, it from a distance or whatever, it looks like my beard is like, I don't know, lopsided or something. It's just one of those things that you don't notice until um, you start having to stare at your face in a video. It's it's like, wow, okay, didn't realize that's happening. So I was thinking about that right in here as I'm starting to draw this part of the goatee. It's just one of those things that you don't realize. Um, and and then when you see it, you can't unsee it anymore. It's just like one of my models for uh, for for the portrait course, for the face value portrait course. I drew his ear, and one ear is different from the other on this particular model. And his name's Mark, for those that may know, those that may be in face value course. And anyway, every time I see him, I think about that because I've drawn his ears, and I look at that difference in that ear. It's very noticeable. Like one of them's like has a little bit of a overlap or something there. Well, hey, Kenny Harlan. Yeah, how are you? So went to high school with Kenny. Good to see you over here, Kenny. Okay, let's see here. Oh, really? Kenny says, so Angel says she wants to hear stories from Kenny. Kenny apparently works at a prison now. Well, Kenny, I guess that's better than being in a prison, right? I'm just teasing. um, so big discussion about pastel mat over here on YouTube. Yeah, I agree with you guys, Nancy. I would marry pastel mat too. I have to admit, it's really great stuff. There's a few other papers I'd marry also. It's hard to just stick with one or pick one, right? There's so many different things you can do on different papers. Uh, each of them have their advantages and challenges too, but it's all fun. Okay, got a little carried away there. That should not be quite that value right there. Push that back in here. So, Kenny, you're living in Vernon, huh? That was like one of the bigger towns around us, back in the day, back there. Angel, you're cracking me up. No, all right, Kenny, good to see you. And he's going to bed, so all righty. Thanks for dropping by. That's a little better right there. This is all nearly the same value. There we go. Little uneven at this point, and that's okay. Must be nearly bedtime over there on YouTube as well. Everybody's getting slap happy talking about marrying different paper companies and owners of companies of paper. So that's funny. I made it the same value. I guess that is the value that I want. Okay. This area, let me see what I want to do here. Oh, Angel, you didn't get to hear any stories because Kenny Harlan he left and he went to bed. So I'm afraid I was pretty boring in high school anyway. So nothing to hear. Yeah, Oksana, I kind of feel the same way. She says I wouldn't say I could be that dedicated to a specific paper yet. Yeah, I like to try a lot of different papers also, and I think there's a reason why you don't like papers at the beginning when you first try them because you get used to using papers that you're using. You just get used to the way they perform and what they do. So I think it's normal to do that. Hey, Win, thank you. Good to see you out here. Yeah, I think it is normal though, just to you know um, get used to a paper. If you used it for a while, you get. Oh, I'm off the frame. Sorry, guys. To just get used to that paper, and then if you switch, then it gets frustrating sometimes, or it can at the beginning. Deborah, we like to try, but we prefer pastel matte. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Monty. Well, good to see you over here. Let's see here. Use this. All right, guys. I cannot believe we've been out here this long. So I am going to have to go to bed. Okay. You guys are all hilarious. You're cracking me up out there on YouTube. You get Deborah and Angel together, and it just gets really funny, I think. And now we're adding in Oksana and Nancy as well. It's just getting really funny. All right, guys, I'm going to sign out. So I will talk to you next time. Have a good night. We'll see you. Bye-bye.